I bet you never realized just how much you love fungus and mushrooms until you watch this video. Well, let's just see how much you actually do love them. Do you love cheese or bread? What about chocolate? Maybe you like wine or beer? Or soy sauce? Well, we wouldn't be able to enjoy any of these things without fungus and mushrooms and many other things we take for granted. Like, did you know that they also help keep us healthy and fight off sickness and disease? Why, where do you think penicillin comes from? Yep, that's right, from fungus. I think you should join me in learning more about fungus and all the ways you never knew you loved fungus. I bet you didn't know humans are more closely related to fungus and mushrooms than to plants. Meaning mushrooms are closer to humans than any other plant species. This is because both humans and fungi share a common ancestor that is further back in evolutionary history than their shared ancestor with plants. Humans and fungi share certain genetic characteristics that plants do not, like storing energy as glycogen and utilizing it in their cell walls. Both humans and fungi evolved from multicellular organisms, branching off from the mushrooms and fungus kingdom over 4.5 billion years ago. They are the pioneers of our whole universe. They climbed out of the sea to create the fertile soil and set the stage for all of life. While mushrooms may appear plant-like, their genetic makeup aligns more closely with animals and humans. But these mushrooms and fungus can heal us, or they can kill us. Many of our common medicines are produced using fungus. Some fungus naturally produce antibiotics to kill or stop the growth of bacteria. Researcher Alexander Fleming first discovered antibiotics in 1928 when he returned from holiday to find a fungus. Penicillium rubens was growing on a petri dish. He noticed that no bacteria had grown in the areas around the fungal colonies. Antibiotics produced by the fungus had stopped the bacteria from growing. This led to the discovery of the potent antibiotic, penicillin, as we know and need it today. Many other antibiotics are produced by fungus, like the life-saving compound cyclosporine is produced by fungus. Cyclosporine reduces the immune response of our body and enables organ transplantation and cosmetic surgery. We have fungus to thank for medicines that lower high blood cholesterol and reduce the risk of cardiovascular diseases, and it naturally occurs in many fungi such as oyster mushrooms. Edible mushrooms are delicious and add healthy fats and proteins to our diets, but fungus are also hiding in many other common foods. Fungus like penicillium ripen blue cheese and baker's yeasts. A microscopic fungus is what makes bread rise, beer and wine ferment, and gives Marmite that distinctive taste. Sourdough bread is made using wild fungus we call yeasts naturally present in flour. Ingredients include a starter, which is a mixture of flour and water. During fermentation, yeast and bacteria in the flour start to eat the sugars and produce carbon dioxide, helping the bread to rise. Even chocolate relies on fungus to get its distinct flavor. Cacao beans go through a fermentation process where the microbial community, including wild yeast, filamentous fungus, and bacteria, develop the rich chocolatey flavor we all know and love. The salty condiment soy sauce is brewed using fungus, which are added to break down the proteins in soybeans and create a delicious flavor. Corn, a popular source of proteins and a meat substitute, is another food product that wouldn't exist without fungus. It's made by fermenting a strain of a fungus found in soil. Fungus also helps our fruit and vegetables grow. They make nutrients and water available to the plant so it can grow. Many fungus can also act as natural defenders of crops from parasites, replacing chemical pesticides. A huge variety of the food on our plates are given a helping hand by our fungus friends. Below our feet, there is a web of fungus connecting plants. The bush in your garden is probably connected with the tree next door through fungus threads. Fungus that connect to roots are called mycorrhizal fungus. It's estimated that around 90% of plants on Earth have mycorrhizal fungus associated with their roots. This fungus helps plants suck up water, provide nutrients, and protect them against pests and drought. In return, plants provide the fungus with sugars from photosynthesis. Another group of fungus that give plants a helping hand are called endophytic fungus. They live within plants in the roots, shoots, and leaves. Endophytic fungus existing within plants can improve plant growth and resistance to disease, drought, and other stresses. In return, the endophytic fungus has somewhere to live and can decompose and feed on their plant host after its death or damage. From the plants in our gardens to the soil beneath our feet and the food in our fridges and the medications that keep us alive, fungus and mushrooms are the secret to our way of life that we all know and love. But I bet you never knew just how much you love fungus. Imagine what our lives would be like without fungus and mushrooms. Thank God for fungus and mushrooms. After experiencing the miraculous healing power of mushrooms, I knew I wanted to dive deeper into understanding them. So I've been on a journey of learning about mushrooms for the past 7 years, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. In fact, thank you for joining me while I share my love affair of the incredible healing powers of mushrooms. And it's been a life-changing experience for me. Mushrooms have molecules not found elsewhere in nature. There's some that have totally unusual properties. Like lion's mane mushroom. The lion's mane mushroom is a globular cascading icicles formed mushroom. It tastes like lobster or shrimp when you cook it, but a researcher in Japan by the name of Macaulay Ishii discovered in 1993 that this mushroom stimulates nerves to regrow. And it is an effective treatment against Alzheimer's, and since we don't have anything for Alzheimer's, these non-toxic mushrooms are completely unusual organisms and they're ignored by so many people, and yet they're a vital interface between all forms of life. After learning about this ability of lion's mane, mushrooms have to help the human body to stimulate nerves to regrow and speed up recovery from nervous system injuries, like paralysis or loss of mental functions, and normally this can take a long time to heal if ever. However, research has found that lion's mane mushroom extract may help speed up recovery from these types of injuries by stimulating the growth and repair of nerve cells. How it works is lion's mane mushrooms contain compounds that can promote the growth, survival, and function of nerve cells. These compounds can cross the blood-brain barrier, which allows them to reach the brain. The compounds can help establish new connections between neurons in the brain. Potential benefits of lion's mane mushrooms may help with nerve growth and regeneration. protection of nerves, neurodegenerative diseases, nerve injuries, cognitive function, brain damage after a stroke, muscle or motor response pathways. Lion's mane mushrooms can be consumed fresh or processed. They can also be purchased as supplements, either as capsules or as powders. I had a horrible accident where I slipped and fell at Rising Park in Lancaster, Ohio, and for a long time, we didn't know if I would ever walk again, so I became very excited when learning that these mushrooms could possibly help me regrow the damaged nerves from my accident. And I have to say, I believe with all of my heart and soul that mushrooms saved my life and have changed the way I see the world forever.